All right, good morning, guys. Today is day 22 out of 30 of eating meat and eggs every single day for 30 days. I'm on the carnivore diet. I've lost a lot of weight. To be honest, it's getting scary. I'm so happy that I'm almost done. And, I've been really forcing myself to eat. So, I've been eating more than 3,500 calories, which I think is more than enough to sustain the weight, but it just keeps going down. Now, I'm not losing muscle, I am losing fat. I'm getting leaner, as I can show you in the gym today. Once we hit the gym, I'll show a little pose of afterwards. But the main thing is, it's a brilliant cutting diet. I've just figured it out, and I also believe that you have to do it very strictly. There's no fucking about. You have to stick with meat and eggs. That's it. You don't play around with anything, you don't cheat, no sugar, no nothing on a Sunday. That's when you get the results. I started with 103.8, I'm on 97.5 in 22 days. That is insane. I train hard, I run, and I eat about 3,300 to 3,500 calories. So you can just imagine, it's great results. That's my thing. But anyway, I've got the Hoover. That's what they call it in America, right? We call it a vacuum, Hoover, whatever. I'm gonna clean the house. Reason why, my wife is coming back in 2 days. So basically in, what is that? Tomorrow's 23rd, then the 24th she'll be home. And we'll be taking a video at the airport while I just wait for her, running into my arms, hopefully. But anyway, I'm gonna hit a little vacuum quickly, and then I will go to the gym, and I'll show you, how I have leaned out so far, and then yeah, we take it as it goes, as the day goes. Alrighty, we are in the parking lot of the gym. I finished cleaning the top level of our apartment, and because I'm still using the bottom, and she's only coming in 2 days, so well, not tomorrow, the day after. So I want to kind of use it first, and then tomorrow afternoon, spick and span, it's going to be clean and beautiful, ready for her arrival. Anyway, I'm going to smash some shoulders. That is on the agenda today. I'm gonna do a little bit of shoulders, and I'm gonna have to show you something afterwards, after the session, in the locker room, which I always do. Kind of do a little flex, on the muscle part or section to show the pump. But I wanted to talk about the weight, my weight. So yeah, let's skip to that, shall we? Alrighty, smashed some shoulders. I actually did pretty well, I must say. Little front and rear delt, not too shabby. Also did some abs, and I said I was going to talk to you about the weight and the weight loss. So clearly you can see that there's some weight that's been shredded. Weighed 103.8 when I started on the carnivore, currently 97.5. That's a massive loss. I think it's like 6.5, something, which is a lot for 22 days. So I'm going to stick to my comment about the carnivore, that it is probably the best cutting diet, purely because you're cutting out carbs and it has a massive amount of protein. So I'm sticking with that. However, for a bulking diet, to get that mass, to get the calories, to get the pump, and also to lift heavier, because carbs actually sit in your muscles. It literally waits there, ready for you to work out. I feel like I'm stronger and I push harder with it. That's my opinion. Some of you are going to disagree, but I enjoy bulking up with carbs, cutting with the carnivore. Anyway, let's go home and have some steak, shall we? One thing that you do not know about carnivore is, well, one thing you need is a little dishwasher. I use Sunlight. It's so greasy, man. The pots, the pans, the everything is just, there's massive grease and fat everywhere. So you have to double stock on these bad boys. All right, no, I was actually lying. There's more things that you need, and that is spices. Lots of meat, chicken, spices. Otherwise, you try to make them taste different. So you'll still have steak, but one barbecue flavor, one is maybe a little bit garlicky. You just spice them differently, then it feels like you're eating something else. I might have potentially treated myself with some biltong, but these, I'm going to show you, they're like little sticks. I'm not sure if you know. It's just like little thinner pieces of biltong, and they spice them differently, and they're a little bit drier. That's why you can see like the white is kind of like very dry. Oh, that's so good. Still carnivore, just meat, dried meat. And yeah, this is like a little treat, I would say. Alrighty, so let me show you exactly how massive this meal is. Alright, I'm gonna take my face away so you can kind of zoom in on that. And yeah, there's some tricks of eating, you know, a massive piece of steak, 400 grams with 300 grams of beef sausage and also some eggs. It does get a little bit dry sometimes. So what I add, obviously, wait, I can actually pick it up. Look at this. This is a block of butter. It's not enough, but this was the last little bit in the pot. And I forgot to buy. So I was, you know, I didn't have anything. So I replaced or added some sugar-free sweet and sour sauce. Now, is that wrong? Potentially, I don't know. Carb level is like 0.1, like 0.1. So I think I'm still pretty much, you know, in the clear there. But yeah, everything's pretty good so far. As you can see, I told you this morning that, you know, I'm pretty lean. I'm pretty lean, and I don't think. I know that this specific diet, a carnivore diet, and the guys are going to be like, Roche, I told you so, everyone in the comments. But I agree. And I mean, I did agree in the beginning, but every single comment, everyone was like, carnivore's the best. What are you doing? Like, oh. I get that. Carnivore is great. I must say, it is great. Again, personally for me, short term, brilliant. Probably number one diet or way of eating in the world. But, you know, the same way I get these comments of like, you know, like it's good, carnivore is great. I also get, you know, people saying stuff about, you know, you shouldn't skip fiber or having fiber. Your arteries can clog up and you can get heart attack and high cholesterol. There's so many things. I just want you to know that no matter what I choose, you choose, or anyone chooses, there's always going to be a positive comment and a negative comment. So in the end, we have to go with our gut, right? So like I said, love carnivore, wouldn't do it for a lifetime. Would only do it when I cut. That is my opinion. There's no way that you could change my mind, because everything that you say, good or bad, there's going to be an opposite. You can, you know, I watched this weird little reel of someone where they say, oh, tomatoes is good for you. And then he skips and it's like, oh, tomatoes are bad for you. And then homegrown vegetables are the best. And then, is your home vegetables killing you? That's how social media works now. People, to be honest, I'm not going to say it's you. But that's why everything I say is very opinionated. It's my opinion, because everyone listens and watches reels and things on Instagram and YouTube, and they take it as facts. They don't go study and, you know, do proper research. Some of you do, you know, I'm not saying that you don't, but, you know, so there's just, what I'm saying is there's just a lot of comments flying around left, right, and center, you know, yes, no, maybe. Just, you know, close your eyes, close your ears, feel what you want to eat. And honestly, that is why I did this challenge, 30 days of it. And I am strict as a mofo because I wanted to see the results. Now I can, and this is the fact. This is something that you can now listen to, whoever is listening. I can tell you with a fact that eating carnivore, 3,300 calories of just meat and eggs, I lost 6 kilograms of fat that I didn't even know I had. I'm as lean as a fucking street dog, right? And it works. I don't have bowel issues. I don't have, you know, well, let's
Hope I don't have any issues internally. But so far, everything is good. I have energy. Everything is fine. So this is my opinion. And I will have a full, proper one at the end of 30 days. But that's why I do it. And that's why I'm going to keep doing all these little challenges, because I want to figure stuff out for myself. I don't want to listen to Jeff or John or Matt or Christy on my comments eating up saying like, woo, don't do that. Don't have a fucking potato with your carnivore diet. I don't, stuff like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to eat what everyone says I shouldn't, and then I'll test it for myself. And to be honest, if you know me, which you probably don't, because you might be watching only like 2 or 3, 4 videos of mine, but if you actually knew me, I chase that feeling of proving someone wrong. So if I get hatred, oh man, I'm going to do the opposite of what you suggest. I'm just saying. It's not a revenge or like a bad thing. It's just how I motivate myself, because in life, a lot of things, couldn't have worked out, but I sit if I listen to other people saying like, don't go for it, it's risky, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, and I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway, and now I am where I am. Now I don't have a mansion yet, but I said yet, because I will have all of those things. Not that I crave them, but I know inside that I will have them. Why? Because my mindset is set to that. I'm that type of person. That's where I'm gonna go. And if you don't think it, if you don't believe it, if you don't have faith, if you don't think you can actually be that person, then you never will. All right? Dropped a little bit of motivation on you there. I'm going to drop this mic, but I actually can't because I use it and it's a bit too heavy. Otherwise, I would have dropped the mic and just left it there. But anyway, I'm going to have this massive meal. It's getting cold. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you for day 23. 1 week left. Let's go.